on going live right now because I'm beyond pissed off. So today we will go look through the tweets that I'm going to be referencing here. But I want to talk a little bit about what. So I want to talk about. So basically, I was looking around, and Pablo Hidalgo is asked who his favorite solo kids are, and of course, Ben Solo. They put Anakin Solo and Jaina Solo. Hey, Grandmaster Jim. I'm like, Anakin Solo. Okay, but then he put Ben, who has. That's like putting a pen with two bottles of water. Just, one thing is not like the other because one probably isn't. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Bill. One isn't gonna even really be canon anymore, I don't think. I mean, anyway, so I'm looking at that and getting kind of pissed off because then you see, hey, Bone, where he sold out to Kennedy and her bullshit. Okay, but hey, this guy runs around with BLM on his bio, on his public thing, and trans rights on the cover of his, with Transformers, but it's trans rights on the cover of his private account on Twitter. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you. And he's doing it because they really honestly believe that Gina is a transphobe or some fucking bullshit. These people live in an echo chamber. Okay, so you're just gotta go, oh, okay. Anyway, so go on. And then somebody posts something to him. He says something about make-believe. Let's see if I can find it here. I'll get out of Facebook because I'm having a fight with my, let's put it this way. Right now my phone hates me. So we all just gotta go, oh, okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna show you guys the tweets. You guys can all tell me what you think. Hey, Cinedave. So that's what he posted. Okay, now you know why I'm mad. First off, let me explain how this goes. We saw what he did. He had a major mental and emotional implosion when Luke showed up at the end of Mando. They did not know Luke was going to be there. Nobody knew. I mean, everything that Doomcock has said about Filoni or Dave and John keeping shit from Kennedy is true, and I think it was probably go with God from the Bobs, the Killer Bees. So the story group didn't know that Red 5 would show up and it would be Luke. I already saw that coming last summer, last winter. Ask Mazarus. I mean, he was like, yeah, she called it. So I go on, do. And then they go after Gina. Why? But there's no civil war going on in Lucasfilm. No, that's all pretend. They're all lying. Oh, okay. Then why did you guys pick on Gina to the point where she posts basically a political meme that had nothing to do with anti-Semitism? And don't, Pablo, if you're watching, you ever fucking go that place with me, I will rip your throat out and choke you with your entrails. And I fucking mean it. Here's the deal. I studied that shit. Unlike you, I actually was walking around Sachsenhausen. I actually saw the Gestapo prison in Berlin and saw the fingernail marks on the wall. Okay? You didn't, because you're too much of a chicken shit piece of crap to go and look, to actually experience it. So they get her gone. Basically, she's told they're not going to hire you back. Because when I hear people say she was fired, it's like that's not how it went. It really wasn't. She wasn't going to be offered another contract. And all hell broke loose. But there's no civil war. Now why? Why would they do that? And why after this shit started with Gina last year, last summer, I think, over a year ago. Why would they be doing this? And why, after Luke showed up, would they be going after Gina harder? So they could hurt Jon Favreau's plans to save what they broke. I went back to Target today and I got this. The books, the High Republic books, all of them that have been published so far, not one have been sold at that Target. I went to the other one 2 days ago. Not one have been sold at that Target. I have asked people. I asked the manager. Okay, they haven't sold one. They have not one. Okay, but it's a success. Bullshit. Just look at Amazon. Look at the top 100. Bullshit. So do not tell me that that pile of dumpster fire crap is anything like a freaking success, because it's not. But here we are. There's no Civil War at Lucasfilm. Of course there is. Yeah, these fuckers didn't want to see Luke show up. They had no idea he was going to show up. They literally shat their pants. I saw the X-Wing, I was like, yeah, it's Luke. Who else would it be? What logical Jedi could it have been besides him? Cal Kestis? Who cares about that? Ezra? I mean, is he even a Jedi anymore? No. It had to be Luke. And it broke the story group. It broke Lucasfilm. That part of it. They were pissed. You know, funny thing is that the shills and the fake fuckers like Steele Saunders do this reaction video where they're sobbing, and I'm like, you are so fucking phony. I can't even. I mean, but that's what happened, okay? It broke the part of Lucasfilm that hates Star Wars. And I'm sorry, but Pablo hates Star Wars. He can sit there and say, and reminisce and go through all the fucking books he's got in this shelf-indulgent bookshelf, which is, it's like, what are you doing? It's like you're walking through a fucking graveyard. What is wrong with you? But there's no civil war. None. Everyone's hunky-dory. I want to ask you guys a question. There's 11 people in chat. Do you guys think that he's telling the truth here? You guys think that this Rob RVDW 1982 is being honest? But he's an idiot, and Pablo probably knows that. But do you think that Pablo's being honest? This is the fuckstick that had to apologize to Star Wars Theory for mocking him. Emotions shouldn't be shared. You were thrilled to see Luke. You were thrilled to see Skywalker the way we all remembered him. Not, said no fan ever. Bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Bull fucking shit. I just want once, this cocksucker to be honest. We got him close to being honest when he told Bond, after 20 years, I don't have any plans and I don't know what hers are. That was as close to being honest as he's ever been. And they're going to let him pretend that he's leaving of his own accord. No, you're not. You'd have been perfectly happy shoving, Rev whatever and Ram Jamaram, and trolling the fans with rocks that navigate. Yeah, it is real. I mean, when Luke showed up, he almost, I swear to God, he must have been, Carl, we don't have any official word, but he sure acts like it. And then you've got this. I want to show you guys this whole thing. So get ready. You're in front of my computer. So you guys read this. Do you need to see it again? Because I'll post it again. Let me know. I'm literally speechless. It's like, after the way he behaved when Luke showed up, after what happened to Gina, and her saying he was part of it and he was the leader. Thank you, Greg. He was the leader of that? The cabal to get rid of her? She wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. It's probably one of the reasons why he wanted her gone. I mean, she's intimidating. You'd think strong women would, which is what they wanted. They got one and they didn't want her. Oh no. There's no Civil War at Lucasfilm. All right. Yo, Planet Musk. Favreau shows up, says I can fix this. Him and Filoni get together. Do the first season of Mandalorian. It's a smash hit. Second season, Tross comes out, crashes and burns. Second season of Mandalorian, mid-December 2020. Skywalker shows up and melts the internet. Literally wipes out the servers at Disney. Pablo immediately makes a total ass of himself. Hey, Madaween. And attacks Star Wars theory. Emotion shouldn't be shared. Right back at you, Pops. But there's no Civil War. There isn't. Then they find the perfect out to basically post that Gina is no longer going to be working at Lucasfilm. Because she posted a meme that made perfect sense about them. All right. Said she was anti-Semitic. There's nothing anti-Semitic in that meme. Nothing. It's an analogy. It's a historical analogy. Okay, history repeats itself. Only a dunderheaded fascist would think it doesn't. Like Pablo. Okay, so they use it to say she's anti-Semitic. Kennedy makes a bold move over Favreau's head and under the noses of the Bobs. And we come to here, but there's no Civil War. They love each other. It's a sunshine and unicorn farts. What? If there wasn't a Civil War, what would be the problem of Gina? Okay? Why would Pablo react that way to Luke Skywalker, the OT's centerpiece character, showing up? Oh, they are. They were very angry, I would imagine. Kennedy was told she couldn't greenlight any more feature films. And she went over their heads with the Leslie forehead thing with the acolyte and then did this. And I'm going to throw this in it. She ordered the reshoots for The Rise of Skywalker and screwed Lucas over, which hurt Indy 5 a great deal because I think that's what caused Steven Spielberg to say, fuck you, I'm done. Again, I said this before, I'll say this again. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas have been friends for decades, since the 60s. Okay. This woman screwed George over, not just once, but several times. You don't get in between two guys that are best friends. You don't. They're brothers. And that means a whole lot more in the long run than sisters, which is bullshit. I have 4 sisters and I never talk to them. Okay. Not my fault. It's bullshit. Sisterhood is a lie, okay? It only works if they're both completely needy, if everybody in the group is needy and there isn't a normal relationship with a guy around, okay? Then it works because they need each other. And it's bullshit. But anyway, so she screwed George over, and Spielberg said, "I'm done." And I know that's what happened. Bros before hoes, and that's true. So that happened. And I can't imagine the Bobs going, "What?" Yeah, I saw that, and I wish I cared about Doctor Who, but I don't. Well, let me explain Kathleen Kennedy. Because my oldest sister is basically her kindred spirit. There are women out there who've never done anything in their whole lives. They're successful only because their husbands are. They stand on the shoulders of all the men around them who've never done anything, but their names are attached to things. And they're, my oldest sister started a company with her husband, but he was the one that invented all the stuff. And she was there for the presentation. And, you saw her getting accolades as a woman, businesswoman of the year and all this shit. And I'm like going, it's a French Chateauneuf de Pape. And it's not bad. That's what I'm drinking right now. So, in the end, it doesn't work out because the guy, he's there going, and it just doesn't work out, and that's Kennedy. So everything that she's done that's been successful has been attached to John Milius, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Robert Zemeckis, Martin Scorsese, Clint Eastwood. Okay. She might be a good producer, but she doesn't know anything about the creative process. And, Spielberg kind of said that in not so many words. Okay. So we got that going. And she just, you kind of wonder, I mean, they like to say she's a great politician. I don't really think that she is. I think she's been lucky. And, she might know some things about people like Bob Iger and stuff like that, but really, I don't think it has anything to do with her knowing things about other people. I think it has everything to do with contracts that are signed, multi-year contracts that if they're kicked out before the contract's over, they get paid an astronomical amount of money. And Disney's not going to do it. And I'm sure Iger, despite his longing to make her go away, because despite what the guy says and does, he's a misogynist. They all are. Guys like in that space, you can't find one that truly respects women unless she kicks ass. And Kennedy isn't that kind of person. She's just not. She doesn't. A woman who can handle being around a bunch of guys is brutally authentic and tolerates their sense of humor and things like that. And I can't imagine her having a drink with a bunch of guys and tolerating the sick stuff that comes out of their mouths. I can do it, but I grew up with that. So, not a big deal to me, but she couldn't. Okay. She's not authentic. That's one of her weaknesses, is there's nothing authentic about her. She's as fake as they come. Yeah, because she was real. Lucille Ball was real. She was incredibly beautiful. but incredibly intelligent and incredibly real, and had no fucks to give what people thought. You know, well, Tatooine, it's all about who you know. So you get, oh, all right, I don't even know, but that's why Spielberg left. She screwed George over. He was like, fuck this shit, I'm done. You can't blame the guy, can you? No. Okay. They get Mangold, and Mangold's a good director, and I'm not gonna get upset with him or attack him for, you know, going off on Twitter trolls who are dying to get people to go to their podcasts, and so on and so forth. So we got that going on. And she's in London right now producing Indy 5, which seems to be going rather well considering, a lot of people are like, Harrison's hurt and they're not gonna, no, it'll be done. He's not that, look, Grandmaster Jim, that's his beloved and he won't. Okay, so stop that. She'd have to be caught in bed with a 13-year-old girl for him to go, what the fuck, and walk out. Okay, he knows she's a shit. He's not there for her. He's there because it's Indiana Jones. And he's there because Frank Marshall. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. Again, I'm sure his relationship with Frank Marshall is very, very good. I'm not sure if his relationship is all hunky-dory with Kennedy. We noticed we haven't seen George on set, okay, at all. And Indy's his baby. So this is a very unusual, hopefully George is getting to see dailies. I would hope that he would get to sit back and watch and say, no, I think you should do this. And you know what I'm saying? But this is a movie that they didn't want, that I don't think either him or Steven wanted to do. But I mean, I think Harrison really wanted to do it. Well, we don't, look, the closest thing we've gotten to confirmation so far is Pablo saying, again, after 20 years, I don't have any plans and I don't know what hers are. That's pretty much confirmation that they're both gone or leaving. But I don't know. See, that's the thing is that, like Valiant Renegade, if you guys haven't gone to his video, go watch it. Valiant Renegade basically saying they did the same thing with Kevin Feige and the guy that used to be the head of Marvel, and I can't remember his name. It's Jewish, and I think it's Perlmutter. I think. Somebody else correct me in the chat. And they got into it, I think, over the $300 million they spent on Black Widow. And boss was like, oh, we're not going to do this. Feige complained to Iger. Iger told Feige, come to me, don't go to him anymore. That's how they dodged him. And where is he now? He's retired. That's exactly what they've done at Lucasfilm. I don't know what that means, Jeremy. It's exactly what they've done at Lucasfilm with, okay, Ike Perlmutter, with Kennedy and Favreau. Okay, let me explain something before anybody wants to get into an argument about this. I would hope they don't. Hey, Valiant, I've been mentioning your last video, Valiant Renegade, who is a brilliant financial guy, talked a lot about what I'm talking about right now. The stuff that's going on at Lucasfilm is over. And I'm going to say this right now. Jon Favreau is number one. And they won't mention it probably until 2022. When everybody's out in the audience at Star Wars Celebration. Maybe I'll be there, I don't know. And freaking out, and we're all together, and they introduced Jon Favreau as the head of Lucasfilm. I'm going to explain something because a lot of people are like, he'd never want to do that. No, no, no. He wants to just make his own movies. If he's any kind of a Star Wars fan, head of Lucasfilm is the dream job. Okay? You get to play in George's universe. And oh, by the way, you get to save what the previous administration broke. I would rather do that thing than receive a Medal of Honor, to be honest. Okay? Because one is fine, but the other is resounding effect throughout the next millennia. Because these stories are our stories. This is our holy grail. Okay, the Star Wars saga, the Skywalker saga is our Arthurian legends, our Nordic myths, everything. Okay, so why wouldn't he want to come and do that? It's you make Star Wars stuff that should be there. You've got a paycheck coming, and oh, by the way, that doesn't mean you can't do your cooking show on, on Netflix if that's what you want to do. You've got a contract. I don't think they would, just because you're the president of Lucasfilm doesn't necessarily mean you can't have a side project here and there. So it's like, especially if you've got Mohsen Gupta. Yeah, Mohsen Gupta is doing that. She looks like she is the person that is pencil pushing and doing logistics and admin stuff and money and all the rest of that stuff. Not a lot of people are good at both. George Lucas was good at both. He really was. But it's a very rare thing. Even Steven Spielberg needed other people to come in to help him with DreamWorks and stuff because, he's a storyteller and that's what he wants to do. All right. So there are guys that can do that and there are guys that can't. This is Hollywood from back. But when Hollywood was in a warehouse in New Jersey, okay, that's the way it was. And I as long as Mandalorian is good, and as long as he's successful, I don't see why they wouldn't. Here's the deal. When you look at what they've got coming, everything has its mark on it. Okay, Obi-Wan has its mark on it. Deborah Chow is his go with God person. Go. I would even say Andor from what I've heard of it, and really not a lot's come out from that, which is really weird. It seems like it's got the mark of Filoni and Favreau on it. I really don't see anything I'm concerned about. And look, when they said they were going to do a show about Andor, I was like, oh, fuck. Then they greenlit it, and I was like, oh, fuck, no. And then I saw what it was about. Because you hear rumors that there's going to be a lot of cameos from characters we've seen in the OT, Clone Wars, etc. And I got a feeling we're going to see a young Han Solo, not awful Aaron Yuck. Okay. I got a feeling on that. Okay, so just keep your eyes open. All right. I've heard stories. And awful Aaron Yuck has got a movie that's still in pre-production with Elizabeth Banks called Cocaine Bear. Fine, go do whatever you want with that crazy bitch. I don't care. Run. And stay away from Star Wars. Hey, Dave, I haven't seen you in a while. So we've got that going on. And it looks like the tentacles of Dave and John are going out there. Hey, Maze. They're like out there everywhere. Now, when you look at, and Valiant, I'm going to repeat what you said. When you look at what Kennedy has, she's got nothing but Indy 5. And that will probably be done, filming in September. So they've got like one more month, despite Ford not being on the set all the time. And I'm going to address that because this occurred to me a couple weeks ago. And now a lot of people are talking about this, but I think it has a lot to bear on why we're not seeing him on the set. But she doesn't have anything else. You've got the two women, Leslie Forehead and the Acolyte, and Patty Jenkins doing her interpretive dance for Rogue Squadron. I don't see any movement on that, especially since Taika Waititi in an interview said, my movie is on the shelf right now, my Star Wars movie, because Lucasfilm is going through restructuring. Then you go through the last article that looks like, weirdly, that Kevin Feige, who should have kept his mouth shut, had out there in the Business Insider, where he basically, they were saying that JPEG wants more flexibility to hire and fire, more contract flexibility. So these people like Kathy Kennedy can't be held into multiple year contracts and make things worse, which is what happened in 2018, which is why I think that Jon Favreau was brought in 2018. All right, I'm sure he sat at Solo going, "Oh fuck, what is?" You know, I'm sure. So Chapek wants to be able to say, the last two things you did were failures. You're gone. Okay, and as someone who looks at it from a management point of view, I don't blame him. His responsibility are to the investors and to make the customers happy. If the customers are happy and are buying, the investors are happy because they're getting a return on their investment. If customers aren't buying stuff, the investors aren't getting money back, people are pissed. All right. JPEG knows where they need to be. And then it said, and in the fall, they think he plans on more restructuring at Disney. That was about Kathleen Kennedy. That was about her. It wasn't about Feige. He can't get rid of Feige now. He might be looking at someone to replace him. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine Jon Favreau even sitting at a meeting with Leslie Forehead and going, wow, what a great idea. I mean, it would really be stunning if it was a woman coming in and doing The Mandalorian, because they wouldn't know what to do with themselves then. Then they'd really be pissed. They try to do a Gina on her. It's going to be bad enough when it turns out to be a white man. Acolyte is dead. I'm going to say this right now, Valiant, that Rogue Squadron's dead too, because that brain fart that was out there in the public that Patty Jenkins had, it's no one's talking about it now. Okay. Because they're going through restructuring, they're shelved forever, bye-bye. Okay. That means that people like Rain Roberts, who's part of the story group, is probably gone. That means that a lot of other people are gone too, which circles back to Pablo. So he's on there the last day or so saying that there's no civil war at Lucasfilm. Yeah, that's true, but I would rather not see them make it as long if she's involved myself. I mean, there are women directors like Catherine Bigelow that would probably do a good job, because Catherine Bigelow has directed men. Oh yeah, it is. But what are they going to do with it? What would she do with it? Would it be intersectional bullshit, or, that's the thing that, I want to see Rogue Squadron like that. I don't want to see purple haired, weirdo man. Is a man or a woman? Does it really matter? I'm non-binary, that shit. Yeah, give Bryce Dallas Howard that movie. I mean, I would give her that movie. I would give it to Catherine Bigelow. I would give it to somebody who, like I said, there are women out there who don't care, and will go in there and do it. Patty Jenkins really worries about things being female centric, and it makes me want to vomit. Okay, I'm gonna say this: women, y'all bore me. I'm a woman, and you bore me. I don't give a shit. Okay, we're all different. Okay, your problems are not mine. There's no sisterhood. That's a lie. Yeah, I mean that would. Oh, Robert Rodriguez. I love that guy, by the way. I love him. Peyton Reed. Yeah, you know, give it to somebody like that. Why does it have to be her? Carl Weathers. You know, so I'm like, this is a very good Chateau Neuf to Pop, by the way. So I'm like going, but I don't think it's going to be made until they get stuff set up. So we're just going to have to see, okay, on that. But let's go back to Pablo. So he is saying that there's no civil war at Lucasfilm and Catch a Valiant up. Of course there isn't. Of course there isn't. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were happy as hell that Gina was cast aside. They didn't lose their shit. Their plans weren't wrecked. Of course they're happy. What the fuck? We're all supposed to believe that. We're all supposed to go, okay, Pablo. Yeah, so I'm like going, okay, I'm going to show you what he said. I tried to do a video here, and my phone wouldn't let me. This is what happens when you're technologically handicapped like I am. I gotta set this up, so we'll talk. Yeah, well, Bryce Dallas Howard, though, his daughter, wouldn't be a bad substitute, and she's a good kid. So, Valiant, I'm going to show you what he said. You tell me what you think. You guys got this? Ron did have an impossible job. He should have been allowed to fire awful Aaron He should have been allowed to fire John Caston. In fact, that movie should have been shelved. So anyway, Pablo denying there's a civil war. His reaction to Luke showing up in Mando, and then him being the ringleader of how Gina got kicked out of Lucasfilm. Aaron Pussy, yeah, of course, is beyond proof that, of course, he's looking for a new job. We need to have that concrete. I have a bottle of Clico Rosé that I'm going to crack open the moment we hear this for real, legit. This motherfucker's gone. Okay, and I said that, yes. He's not Egyptian, he's Chilean. He's from Chile. His background, oh yeah, I went and dug. His father is Chilean, his mother is Canadian. His father was a, okay. Denial, okay, man. Well, yeah, and I don't blame you on that one, Maze. But his father was a leftist agitator during the time of Oh yeah, man, Valiant. If you do, I'm showing up, and I'm gonna be like, his father was a left-wing agitator who pissed off Pinochet. They escaped. They went to Canada, and then Dingbat showed up here. And he's a red diaper baby. Pablo is. He's a Maoist, which, when you start kind of going through you start going, yeah. If you guys have not subbed to Valiant's channel, do it. In fact, if one of the wrenches here can put a link in, that'd be great. Where was I? If you parse open and look at the political leanings of all the left-wing splinter groups in South America, you had the Shining Path. They were Maoists. They were Maoists. They were Marxists. People, Bolsheviks. You're welcome. There were, you name it. It's just astounding how many different groups there were. And then you kind of go, thank God that they didn't all get together, because holy shit. One of the things I find fascinating about all this is that they're not there anymore. Colombia, who had a really bad thing with the drug cartels and the Marxists, they're now pretty much, good going, Jeremy. They're pretty cool about whatever, and it's dying down there. The country that really disappoints me is Nicaragua, because the guy that was our biggest enemy down there, Daniel Ortega, and if you remember the '80s, people like John Kerry had him up on Capitol Hill. He was the leader of the Sandinistas. He's running Nicaragua now. Not good. But we'll talk about that. But that's kind of world. Thanks, Dave. That's kind of world that Pablo came from. He's a red diaper baby through and through, and he ended up in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and he can't quite compute why it's so great. And he lives in San Francisco, the land of pooping on the sidewalks and drug needles all over. Those beautiful restaurants, I wouldn't want to go eat outside there. Who knows what you're going to see? It's deplorable, but that's where he's at. And he got to Lucasfilm. He was actually an extra in Revenge of the Sith. He got to Lucasfilm and just waited till the old man was gone and then shit all over it. Oh, I didn't say that, Maze. And then he just shit all over it. So I'm like going, this is, here's the deal. These people went to places like Lucasfilm. They went to places like Warner Brothers. They went to Universal. They went to Paramount. They went to the gaming channels. They went to all these places, like that Zoe Quinn, that gaming bitch, who got her boyfriend, he committed suicide over her, which I'm still trying to figure out why they went there. They went there to attack the culture. Okay, one of America's greatest, and Western culture's greatest assets is our culture. Is be able to put really great stuff out there that the rest of the world sees and goes, wow, that's really cool. Back in the 60s and 50s, people all over the world saw John Wayne and went, in fact, the Soviets wanted to kill John Wayne. It's true. That is a true story. FBI told him. FBI warned him. And there's a rumor about that. And I'm still digging into it. But if it's true, do you fuck with the Duke? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Some bad shit went down. and he wasn't happy. And he showed how much unhappiness he had. They wanted to kill him. When Ronald Reagan was head of the Screen Actors Guild, the communists in Hollywood threatened to throw acid in his face. I mean, that's what they did. Stalin knew if they could take over the American film industry, they could fuck us over. And guess what they're doing? It took them 60, 70 years, but now we got Pablo running around and his creepy little wife who runs around screaming what a great Catholic she is and then posting shit from heretics like James Martin and pro-abortion stuff. And it's like, look, you know what? You violated the magisterium at least 3 or 4, 5,000 different times. And yet I know you go up and receive communion. Boy, God is going to have fun with you. All right, you're going to wonder why you're where you're at. Okay, that's a big deal to us Catholics. And you got to be right on things. You can't be a cafeteria Catholic. You're either all in or you're not. There is no in between. And there is no, well, why do we have to do? Because that's what it says. And it's based on scripture. I'm not going to go through that, but that's her. Okay. And there we are. Yeah, and he was right. Yuri Bezmenov was right. I mean, he was right. So these people got in there. Well, I got sick. I couldn't go. If you guys listen to Echo Base, you heard the story. On Saturday night, you heard the story. My voice is like this for a reason. Okay, I got sick. Other people said, they don't like us anymore, so we're not going to, and they don't take part. And then they wonder why Hollywood's putting out so much shit. Because you never encouraged anybody around you to take part. Remember when you were writing all those stories and stuff, and maybe one of the, you get if the culture is there whether you want it to or not, to be or not. Andrew Breitbart said it's culture's upstream from politics. If you're not part of it, the politics of what they're doing is going to run you over, and guess what? We're getting run over. All right. Fighting back, is it too late? I don't know. I don't really care if there's an upper hand in Hollywood or not. I just want to see good stories, narrative stories, stories that respect people, stories that don't push an agenda. No one asked about it. I mentioned because I did a what Star Wars means to me thing for Echo Base and Coach read it, so it's on their stream from Saturday night. But anyway, it's it's a tide turning. Yeah, I think Ghostbusters 3 Afterlife is going to change it. And I don't expect Ivan Reitman or his son ever voted for Donald Trump. But they know what people want to see. And they also know it goes beyond politics. Okay? All right? The people who went out and decided to do this know it goes beyond politics. They know that this goes beyond politics. Okay? Good stories matter. Great characters. Not diminishing the heroes. Okay? There's an unreality going on out there about men and women. And I think Kevin Smith walked into the trap. And well-deserved, because I've never been able... I tell you something. I'm in my workout stuff so I can be dressed like this. But do you think I'd walk on a red carpet dressed like this? No. He shows up in a red carpet in cut-off pants, not jeans, pants, with that stupid fucking hat backwards. And then I think at the Rise of Skywalker premiere, he had his blazer on. It's like, well, I look fine. No, you don't. And flip-flops. There are so many times I have had to dress up. Marine Corps balls, dinners, things like that. Capitol Hill, you bring in a wardrobe case with a dress in it or something else to wear. Change at work on Capitol Hill or at the office you're working. Because you don't show up looking like a something scraped up off a New York City taxi cab. And that's exactly what he looks like. And this guy is supposed to be the king geek. Well, after what he did to Master of the Universe, his geek card, his nerd card has been revoked. Okay. But he dresses like a pig. And yet, I'm like, I can't stand him. But I think that this is probably his faux pas and lies. The lies he told, I think, are probably the last real problem people are going to have with SJWs. I've heard, I don't know where, I heard today that Shang-Chi, and I think it's the Ten Rings or whatever, I think they're two different movies, are going out into the theaters. They're not going to go on streaming. Probably a good idea. Learned a lesson. As Valiant says, you have to sell a movie 4 or 5 times throughout the course of its life. Okay. They just put out a 4K version of all 4 Indiana Jones movies. I gotta get my hands on it. Okay, I wouldn't even. I went on to Amazon and I couldn't find it. I'm like, I want it. Okay, I want those. There's going to be a shift, and I think dropping the ball the way Kevin Smith and Netflix did with He-Man is, I think, the final thing. And I know people are like, well, it's a kid's cartoon. There's a big fan base out there. They collect things, and they were pissed. I mean, Andre was just, I was like, holy shit, dude. But I also told him, I said, hey, now, you know how we felt about Star Wars. I mean, the kick in the gut I got was TFA. And I was telling people, if Ryan Johnson doesn't fix this, you were warned. And I was so sure that Ryan Johnson was gonna do right by the characters. He made it worse. Oh, I want to show you guys something else. You want to see what's going on here? Oh, sorry guys. Let's go here. Let me get this going because I want to show you something he posted. All right, just because it's very interesting to me. Poor Pablo. She'll cry for you, boo-hoo, pussy. Okay, so Ryan Johnson posts this. I'm going to say this right now. He's lashing out. Okay, he is lashing out. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do believe that they are getting ready. Oh, not Ryan Johnson? Well, who did it then? Oh, Ruin posted that. Okay, well, forget it then. Forget what I was going to say. They're lashing out. Okay, they're going to start lashing out. Okay, yeah, okay, thanks. Now I feel stupid. So ignore what I just said about that. Oh my God. But Pablo's lashing out, and the rest of them are. And as it gets closer to Kennedy, we're going to see more. Now, the Scarlett Johansson thing, I think Kevin Feige has bitten off more than he can chew. I really wish he had. I really do think that he's bitten off more than he could chew if he's part of this Scarlet thing, because I'm going to leave you guys with this. And Valiant, if you're here, how long ago was Black Widow done and in the can? 5 years ago? And they fast track Captain Marvel. And I think it went out 2 years ago. And we had to suffer with Brie Larson. I would think that Scarlett should be looking at Kevin Feige going, 2 years. Okay, yeah. I would think that Scarlett should be looking at Kevin Feige saying, why did you fast track Captain Marvel when my movie was already made? If Black Widow had gone out when Marvel did or before, it would have made a lot of money. It would have made money. But they held it back and they put Captain Marvel out. I'm gonna let you guys all wonder why, because I know why. I'll leave you with this. Andrew Cuomo just got called out for sexually harassing people. Hey Daz, I'm pretty sure that Kevin Feige and Brie had an arrangement. Scarlett's movie should have went out when it was done. It didn't. Think about it. There's something not right here, and it's Kevin Feige. He's the one. There you go. Anyway. Oh, I know, Biden demanded his resignation. Let the hair sniffing videos begin. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to finish this lovely glass of wine, and I will see you guys in the morning. I'm going to go and read. I'm in the middle of rereading Darth Plagueis. So you guys all have a good evening, and I'll see you later. I'll see you in the morning.